This is the story of Ben the Bear and the Honey-Suckle Tree. Not so long ago, and not so far away, a baby bear was born to Mama and Papa Bear. They named him Benjamin, but everyone called him Ben for short. As Ben was growing up, one of the great things he loved to do is be thrown on Papa Bear's big broad back and romp through the forest trying to catch butterflies. Now the two of them never ever caught any butterflies, but that didn't matter. Just being thrown on Papa's back and being with him was what really counted. Woohoo! One day when they were romping through the forest, Ben heard some crying. He looked down and saw on one side of a huge rock 3 little bunnies. Ben just knew they were lost. Ben was up high enough on Papa's back to see, on the other side of the rock, Mama Rabbit playing with her other little ones. Ben got off Papa's back, scooped up the 3 bunnies, and took them around to the other side. Rhonda Rabbit was filled with joy. She had so many children, she hadn't noticed these 3 were missing just yet. One day Ben felt especially happy. It was the first time in his life Papa said he could stay up past his bedtime. As the moon rose, the 2 of them made their way to William Wolf's den. Ben was surprised to see all the other animals of the forest there that night. You see, Ben had never seen the animals of the evening before. William Wolf spoke about how all the animals of the forest are related. In fact, William said, the whole forest is woven together. He spoke of the great hope he had for all the animals, and something about courage, peace, and happiness coming from within. Ben wasn't too sure about this courage and peace kind of stuff just yet, but boy, was it great to be part of the group. The greatest thing of all Ben loved to do is to visit the honeysuckle tree. Now the honeysuckle tree is the only tree like it in the whole forest. There is no other like this one. The honeysuckle tree is in the very center of the forest and is very old, huge, and gnarly. It takes 20 adult bears with their paws tip to tip to go around it. Out of the honeysuckle tree flowed the golden honeysuckle. It sparkled like diamonds. It flowed out of the tree, down the trunk, and into the creeks. The creeks would deliver it to the river. Every tree in the forest had its roots tied into the river, so the honeysuckle would flow up their roots and into the berries. The birds would eat the berries, and their sweet songs would fill the forest. The animals would eat the berries, and their furs would shine. Ben loved going straight to the source, the honeysuckle tree, with Papa Bear. They would take both their paws, fill their faces with honeysuckle, and their furs sparkled. As Ben got a little older, he didn't listen to Papa quite so much. He started to hang out and play with Billy Badger. Now, Billy never visited the center of the forest. He always played at the outer edges. One day when they were out playing, Billy said, "Throwing rocks is fun." The 2 of them scooped up some rocks and threw them into Rebecca and Roy Robin's nest, breaking the eggs. Ben didn't think that was too much fun, but because Billy had said it was, he went along with it. Sometime later, Billy just up and said, "It's the one who has the most acorns in the end that wins." The 2 of them made a plan and went off to Sam Squirrel's place. Out in front of Sam's place, Ben pretended to be sick. When Sam came out to offer his help, Billy slipped inside and stole all of Sam's acorns. Ben and Billy didn't know what to do with acorns at the time, but that didn't matter. Remember, it was what Billy had said. It's the one with the most acorns in the end that wins. Another time, Ben and Billy were play wrestling. Sally Skunk, just wanting to make some new friends, came up and asked, "Hey, can I play with you guys?" Ben was about to say, "Yeah, come and play with us." But before he did, he looked over his shoulder to see what Billy would say. Billy pointed a paw at her and said, "You're stinky." As Sally ran away crying, Billy started to laugh. Ben didn't think this was quite right, but because Billy was laughing, well, Ben laughed too. There actually came a day that Ben became sick. Not pretend sick. This time he was really sick. It was the first time in a long time that Ben looked at himself. When he did, he noticed that he no longer sparkled like diamonds. That was the day he remembered the honeysuckle tree. You see, Ben had forgotten all about it. So that very day, Ben decided to visit the tree once again. On his way there, Ben noticed that the birds were not singing like they used to. In fact, the whole forest had become a dull gray. When Ben got to the river, he saw that the river had all but dried up. He kept on going. When he got to the center of the forest, Ben saw that although the whole forest had become a dull gray, the honeysuckle tree hadn't changed. The tree itself remained the same. The difference was that the honeysuckle, which once flowed, was now going drip, drip, drip. Ben sat down at the base of the tree and thought. He thought long and hard, back to the time when the honeysuckle flowed, back to the time when he was romping through the forest on Papa's back, back to the time when he was part of the group at William Wolf's den, back to the time when he helped out Rhonda Rabbit. Ben came to understand that the honeysuckle flows when the relationship with the tree of life is right, when there is faith, hope, and love. All of a sudden, the honeysuckle that was once dripping started to swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Ben the Bear and the Honeysuckle Tree.